our team, starting team wearing dark caps, race. And now with the white caps, please welcome the team from Israel. And if I could ask you to please stand and remove your caps as we honor our country with the playing of the national anthems. We'll start with the anthem for Greece. And if we can ask you to please remain standing as we present the national anthem from Israel. Ladies, let's cross shaking hands as you go to your bench. You have 6 minutes of game time.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Long Beach, California and Long Beach City College. We are on to the semifinal round of the World Aquatics Women's Water Polo World Cup. Up first, 2 5th through 8th place semifinals before we get into those teams in contention, not only for medals, but of course also 2 tickets to Qatar for the 2024 World Aquatics World Championship. Up first, Team Israel taking on Team Greece to start off our day. 4 big matches ahead, joined by the former USA national teamer Cody Roberts, Greg Meskel here with you poolside in Southern California. Big hello to our audiences watching around the world and of course here in the United States. For those looking for Team USA, they will be up at 5 p.m. Pacific time when they take on Hungary. And Cody, let's look back at yesterday, and we'll start first with Israel. This is a team that is on a history-making run. They have never before played in an event of this caliber. They have big dreams. They want to qualify for the 2028 Olympic Games here in Southern California. They will go to the World Championships next month in Japan. They ran into the best team in the world, in Team USA.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the joy and excitement in each of their faces when they're showing up to the pool deck. We spoke to their head coach yesterday, and he said it's just such an honor to be here. But with that, they're not just here to hang out. Like, they came to play, and it was really apparent yesterday that if they were scared at all to match up with Team USA, they were not showing it, and they were ready to go from the first whistle.
Yeah, they gave Team USA a good battle in that first quarter, kept it close. It was around 2-0 for a good chunk of that first quarter before just the experience of Team USA took control. Take the emotion out of it for Israel, and you just talk about the water polo part of it. What did you like from them yesterday, and what would you imagine are things they want to fine-tune today?
I think they did a really good job of making the USA play defense, one-on-one defense. They were driving and moving a lot, forcing them to really worry about their body positioning at all times. And then I think on their end, just really playing a much faster game than maybe they're used to. These are some really talented teams, and there's nowhere to hide. There's players on the bench, there's players in the water that are ready to go, and I think defensively is where they're going to find some success today. Israel
earning their spot here out of the Division II qualifier along with New Zealand that took place in Berlin this past spring. Now, across the way, Greece, as we look at their lineup, they had to be a bit surprised at what transpired yesterday. They've been in the U.S. for quite some time now. They finished a 3-game series with Team USA where they played close in a couple of those matches, and certainly we know their focus is on the World Championships like so many teams here as well, but to allow 20 goals yesterday, that couldn't have been what they had in mind.
Yeah, and I mean, especially for them, who's such a defensive team, it was a really shocking start. I mean, for them, I think, looking back, they have a lot of small errors they made on offense, whether it was a bad pass, an offensive that they weren't expecting that led to really easy counterattack goals going the other way. So little things they can clean up that I think will make a big difference for them today.
And what was interesting, at least from our perspective, we don't have a stake in who wins any of these matches, but Hungary was so aggressive at the start, and it was a little bit of a reminder to me anyway, in a 3-game tournament, you have to come out ready to go from the opening sprint.
Yeah, we touched on that a little bit yesterday. There's no opening round, easy game to ease into this or shake off the nerves. You have to be ready to go from that very first whistle, which Hungary was ready. They did that exact thing.
So we're just getting lined up here, ready to start at the top of the hour, 1 p.m. local time here in Southern California, as we prepare for this matchup between Israel and Greece. The officials in this one, Ms. Perry from New Zealand and Mr. Texido Bermudez from Spain. Again, a full slate of matches here today. The first two, the 5th through 8th place semifinals, as we conclude play here tomorrow. New Zealand and Italy will follow. Then we get into our medal round semifinals. Team USA and Hungary at 5 p.m. local time, and then another great matchup we expect, the Netherlands and Spain, to close things out on what should be some really exciting water polo here today. Again, on paper, you look at these first two matchups and say, okay, well, Greece, you'd assume, would be the favorite there, and then Italy in our next matchup. But yesterday was a bit of an unexpected result in some cases, so we'll see what we get as these two get underway. It's Israel in the white caps and Greece in the blue caps. Fans, don't forget live stats available courtesy of Micro Plus Timing Services. You can access all the data from this World Aquatics World Cup at worldaquatics.com or at usawaterpolo.org. And I think we are ready to get this one underway. Very punctual here. We will hold it to the hour, and we will get started now. As the opening sprint is underway, the semifinal round has begun at the World Aquatics Water Polo World Cup, and Greece is there first. A couple of tweaks to the Greek lineup for Coach Kamenu, with number 8 and number 9 yesterday. Eleni Ilitniadi and Christina Sciuti, they sit out. Remember, teams have 15. They need to pick 13 each day. So subbing in Eleftheria Fudotu and Fotini Trihas. And right out of the gate, we'll see Greece draw an opportunity inside with a penalty. And that's the big bruising center for Greece, Maria Midiokefalataki, that when she gets near the cage has proved difficult to stop.
And Nino will take a shot.
Getting everyone in position. Here's the 5-meter, and good to go. So Greece is there with the initial goal in this one, as Irini Ninu, who competes with Nikos, is able to get on the board via the 5-meter. And just the first goal, the opening 30 seconds, but if you're Greece, it has to feel good that they at least put one on there early.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Greece's bread and butter is getting that ball into their centers. They have such great hands, and they are able to get quick shots off or kick the ball out and have a perimeter shooter step in. So having success there early is a good sign.
Turnover here, Greece taking it away. Ioanna Stamatopoulos is in the cage on this day for Greece. Ayelet Paris for Israel. As Greece looking to go up 2-0 quickly. And again, a penalty. So working inside, this is Eleftheria Plevritou. So we are less than a minute gone by in this one, and Greece has drawn 2 penalties. And clearly a concerted effort here for the Greeks to go towards the goal and just be a bit more aggressive offensively. Save made. Perez knocks it down. The rebound put home right in front. Beautiful initial stop, but cashing in on the rebound, Vasiliki Plevritou. It's the hard part of blocking those 5 meters. They come in at such pace that often the block, right, comes right back to the person who shot it.
The unfortunate bad bounce.
So 2-0 Greece to start. Israel now tries to go to work. Nice turn there from Sassover, but the save is made by Stamatopoulos.
You'll notice in all of these games, when the ball is entered into the center, they have a half a second to a second to make a decision whether they're going to turn, try and shoot, kick the ball out. It's so quick before the defenders are there to crash that it's such a difficult position to play.
Good help defense. Israel coming across. Bila Futurian able to take that one away. I always liking that 2-meter position to the quarterback in football, who kind of has to have that invisible clock running in their head. They have to get rid of the ball before they'll get tackled.
And sometimes they can't even see the defender that's coming at them.
Yeah. Counter-attack on this end. Midiokefalataki trying to get rid of her defenders and looking for a call. In the meantime, the steal. Gordonskaya comes over, and then she'll sub out. And that's the reminder here. We've seen it a few times, even at this very elite level of playing for the whistle versus just playing. And that was the center looking for that call. And as she's looking at the referee, a defender comes and takes it away.
And she makes an entry pass into set and draws an exclusion.
An exclusion. And Israel will get the first power play of the day.
Their first power play of the contest.
5:42 to go, first quarter.
Gets the ball back and put it on top. Same shot with the pool.
Shot clock to 4, and the low skip is there. Score it for the veteran, Shunit Strugel.
That's number 7, Shunit Strugel. And it puts Israel on the board, 5:30 in the first.
On the 6-on-5 connect. The veteran of this team has been around a long time. Has watched their rapid growth here over the last 7 years, and is able to get her squad on the board. Has to be such an interesting experience for Strugel, 35 years old. So many of these athletes born in the early 2000s. Kind of the mentor, probably a coach in the water, you'd imagine, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see it in just the way she's communicating and the way she's playing, her confidence with the ball in her hand. You can see the experience shining through in offense and defense.
Great save in close. Perez knocking that down on the backhand try, and now Israel looking to counter. Second look there at a big stop in close. And now a kick out against Greece. Second power play coming for Israel. Ninu goes off as we're under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, but Israel throws it away. Unforced error. Those are some of the growing pains of a young team not even getting a shot off there in a 6-on-5.
Also, with the new rule of being able to be inside the 2-meter line, you're so much closer to that lane line that if the ball is even an inch off target, it can really go out of bounds and you're playing defense all of a sudden.
On this end, the skip controlled by Peters again. Greece, though, controls. That's a great point on this new rule. Here's a look inside. We'll call an offensive grab of the suit from Greece. And then a kick. And a grab of the arm. And that was Elena Sanaki in a bit of disbelief there. She wanted a call in her favor, then commits the offensive and then doesn't let go. Called for the exclusion. Shot clock to 10. Israel looking to tie things up here in the first. Off the post, everything but the finish. That was a beautiful look from Bogachenko, but just rattled off the cage. Thought that one was in.
I know, me too. You could see her smiling after, saying, oh my gosh, how much closer could it get?
Yeah, such a close call. We see on the replay there. Actually, that's interesting.
Oh.
Might be one to test out the VAR review. Clock to 6 and an exclusion. So Israel sent off. Greece will get their first power play. Gordonskaya. And now Greece can go to work. From about 5 meters, nothing there. Patient attack that bangs off the post. They get the offensive rebound and can continue the attack. Sides coming even here shortly. Flag is out, sides are even. It looks as if we may get some sort of review here. Ball coming out. Now that flag was late to bring back in the excluded party. That could be what they're checking on. They're going to fire up the cameras. It'd be fun to take a look at that goal down the other end as well, but I don't think that's what this is in debate about. This is something that folks have wanted in water polo for a long time. And of course, soccer plays such a pivotal role, and a chance now here in water polo, especially on those close calls around the goal, to get the call right. See that pass over the top there as officials taking a look here and discussing things with the scorers table. 3:05 to play. 2-1 the lead for Greece.
Oh, there's a goal.
So that is what they were reviewing. We didn't get official word what the officials were looking at, but it was in fact the close call of a goal for Israel. And so it took a little time, but they did go back to it, and they determined that was a goal. And Cody, we had a thought that that was a likely goal, even from our angle here. And now, via review, able to see that in fact it was. And so Israel is going to be credited with their second goal.
Sometimes it can look so close because the whole ball needs to cross the line of the goal. So it can even be 99% of the ball, and if it's not that 100%, they're not going to count it. But so I'm glad they reviewed it.
There's that look again. This is what they were looking at. And that initial angle, again, if you had no angle across the goal line, which we do here for the purposes of VAR, that angle initially looked, okay, probably a goal. They were able to take a second look. Here's our camera on the goal line. And there you go, that's a goal. Actually a pretty easy call when you see it from that angle. And no shade to the referees. This is a tough sport to call, but to get down there and see that in time as it kind of then quickly bounced out of the cage, a tough call. But they get it right. Greece can't convert right on the front doorstep. Meanwhile, vindication there for Bogachenko, as she's the one who had that shot that was eventually ruled a goal, and we're tied at 2. 3:30 to play. So another solid first quarter here for Israel. They have to be happy with the way they started. 'Bogachenko, an ordinary. Just see 2 sets of arms at 2 meters, but no faces. Now they've come up. And that's an offensive. That was Jacobi trying to create some space. Three minutes to play, first quarter. A look here at 5 meters. Great field block in close. Israel teaming up. That one was knocked down. Strugel and Kordenskaya coming over. Strugel tries to go back inside. They didn't like it. Triple team arrived. Jacobi knew that wasn't going to work out. Tried to pitch it back outside, but didn't have enough on it. Those are those split-second decisions you were talking about, Cody, right? She knew this is not going to work out, but couldn't get rid of it. Plevritu goes inside, and exclusion. And a 6-on-5 coming here for Greece. Kordenskaya sent out. Here's Plevritu. What a steal. Up out of the water is Bogachenko on her legs to just palm that ball and take it away. Under 2 to go, first quarter. Shot clock to 10, Israel going in the wrong direction. 1:44 to play in the first. They'll go back in, and pass just isn't there. And Jacobi also has her hands full trying to hold position. Coming up on 90 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Timer to 5. They go in, the quick shovel, and that works. Sanaki with the scoop, and a 3-2 lead for Greece here with 1:13 to play. Part of the challenge too, Cody, I'd imagine for Greece, is that while they were frustrated with yesterday's loss, as you see a second look at Sanaki, they had hopes of being in the semifinals, and I think it's challenging to then wake up the next day and play the early game in a game you didn't want to be in at all.
Right, and luckily, I mean, for them, they have a lot more tournaments to look forward to, so it's easy to kind of shift your mindset instead of saying, okay, we didn't meet our goal necessarily in this tournament, but how can we get better for the next time so that we're not in this position again? It's a long year. Yeah,
there's no doubt. You know, you really look at it, if you think about Paris next year, right? It's like a long 18 months the way all the planning shakes out from when these teams have started to really get into some serious training. Power play again for Israel. Their 4th opportunity here with 5 seconds on the shot clock. The dish, the field block. That was hammered down. Treha knocks it away with 35 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Ninu. 18 seconds to play, first quarter. Let it fly. It looked effortless from Irini Ninu. That's her second. And a 4-2 lead here for Greece, so they've scored 2 unanswered after Israel tied up the game on that VAR look. That's a tricky shot.
That was perfect placement in that top left corner. I mean, it's tough if you're Israel. The last goal is scored by the center, so you want to honor the center a little bit more by staying back in the drop, but then you're leaving these outside shooters open. So it's really difficult to decide what type of defense is going to be the most effective.
Shot clock off, 4 seconds left. Israel looking for one more look. That's an ordinary with just about 2 seconds left. Need a catch and release. They get it away, and the save is made by Stamatopoulos. That's all for the first quarter. Good start from Israel. They hang tough here with Greece. Tie it at 2-2, but Greece finds an answer here late. Irini Ninu with a couple of goals to pace the Greek attack. We come back to Long Beach with the second quarter after a short break.
You are giving the time to defenders to come from the ball side, and you are playing like this. Playing with the left hand here, and you are still go. Switch from the other side immediately. Yeah, la, I think. With the left hander, why you are playing from a Yamina? They have your tail, move the ball. Okay, move the ball and move the post all the time. This is a little alone, move the ball, move the first post. Okay, be ready. Okay, don't stay with the ball and do this, because everybody is going there. Alma, come out, we don't go this. Haydi adam. Haydi öyle, haydi.
Get a good look there at head coach Dimitrios Mavroudis. In his 7th year leading this program. His thoughts for the Israel squad. First of 4 here today, semifinal round of the World Aquatics World Cup. Throw off here in the second, and Greece is there once again. Yiannopoulos, they go inside. Israel arrives with help. Strugel with the takeaway. Now looking to attack. Lob attempt up over the cage on that attempt from Bogachenko. What adjustments do you think Greece made late in that first quarter to push ahead?
I mean, they spoke about it yesterday after their game that they had a lot of success against Hungary in their hard press, but they just moved into it a little bit too late. So I think coming out in this game and starting with that press has really pushed Israel to play their offense a little bit further back than they would want. Each pass gets a little further, each shot gets a little further out, so that just makes it really tough. And they're hitting shots like that, so that helps.
You can just rip a bar down from 7 meters. That is never a bad idea as well. Score the goal there from Fudotu, who plays her club water polo with Glyfada. This Greece squad well represented on the top club teams in Greece, as you see a couple of looks here at this strike. No doubt about that one. Inside, double team, no call, and a takeaway. Now Greece can start to counter. Hiderioti comes up with it, and a good look now. Eleftheriou has space to operate. Strugel will look to pick her up, and she'll wait for reinforcements. Opening minutes here, good change to the arm angle. Wrapped that around and then glanced it off the keeper's shoulder. Nicoletta Eleftheriou. And a 6-2 lead for Greece. That's good recognition there by the shooter. Israel had done the job closing off everything near side. The exclusion. Confusion here for Israel as 2 players think they're excluded. In the meantime, they make the save, so they inadvertently put themselves in a 6-on-4, but still get the stop as Pedesh comes up with it. And now back to full 6-on-6 here with 5.5 to play. Power play for Israel. Triha heads out for 20 seconds. Shot clock with plenty of time. 10 left on it for this Israel attack. Strugel tries lob just off the post. Had the keeper out of position, but just could not convert.
Not a shot you typically see on a 6-on-5.
No, there are many coaches who will penalize you for such things. A lob on 6-on-5 is an offense for some programs. On this end, a penalty. So Greece draws their 3rd 5-meter try.
Greece is doing a really good job of engaging with their defenders all the way down the pool, gaining advantages and then also earning ejections and penalties here, which is...
That's a rocket off the back of the cage and good to go for Midio Kefalataki. So similar to yesterday, Israel puts forward a great first quarter and then just starts to run out of steam as the more veteran team takes hold.
Yeah, you can see they don't do a ton of subbing, so these girls are playing a lot of minutes in comparison to these other teams that have a deeper bench. But it's all experience. Like the coach was saying yesterday, they are just so excited to be able to play these games and learn as much as they can about themselves and about the rest of the teams that they're playing, some for the first time ever.
And now a counterattack developing. Eleftheriou. Difficult look on the inside with a double team looming, and Israel takes it away. And you're exactly right, as they try and counter here. They were pumped to score a few goals against Team USA yesterday. That felt like an accomplishment as well. And talked about having to just celebrate those moments as they build this team up to one they hope qualifies for the Olympic Games in 2028. And Trian, that's a nice turn, but up and away. You said it yesterday, but you see things with a couple of these younger teams. They have this great piece, but they don't have the other piece that would put it together for the amazing play.
Yeah, there's so many things that go into scoring a single goal that go unnoticed unless you see it go wrong. But it just takes time and experience playing with each other and building chemistry and building confidence and knowing what exactly your teammates are going to be doing all the time. So that it takes a lot of work. No,
that's a great point. I feel like watching Olympic diving. You know when it's gone wrong, but yeah. Otherwise, I think they're all good. 3:21 to play, first half. A 7-2 lead for Greece, trying to earn their way into the 5th place game. That's a turn and goes off the mark there for Noah Sassover, one of the younger players on this team. We told you about Hila Futurian, who competes for the University of the Pacific. Sassover, Alma Yacobi, younger players. Of course, mandatory military service for Israeli citizens. But the hope for some, the potential for college water polo once they've fulfilled their commitments. Sassover among that group. Shot clock to 10 now for Greece. Off the post, the ricochet. And Israel will take the friendly bounce. .232 left. 7-2 advantage for Greece. Looking to turn inside. Ball under is the call. Defense is on point from Eleftheriou. Italy, New Zealand to follow in our 5th through 8th place semifinals here as we get started on a busy Saturday at the World Cup, turning into a picture-perfect day here in Long Beach to be outside, to play, to watch, or to shoot from 6.5 meters. And that was Plevritou, who competes for Olympiakos. Olympiakos, Vouliagmeni, those are the clubs that are best represented on this Greece roster. And Plevritou on this team with her 2 sisters is able to convert from the outside. You've played with your sisters. How much fun is that? Could you imagine to be here? And I know you played with Sammy at a very high level as well, to be on a team like this with family.
Yeah, that's, I mean, 3 people at the same time. That's amazing. I never got to play with my younger sister, but Sammy and I were close enough in age to play all through club and high school and college together. It's definitely special. Makes it easy for your parents.
Yep. Only one pool for mom and dad to go to.
Yeah.
Kick out here, Israel on the attack, coming up on 90 seconds to play, first half. Catch and release. Gordon Skaya. And Israel with their second power play strike. So they trail now 8-3. Here's a look at Coach Mavroudis, who has orchestrated the turnaround of this Israel program. Not wasting any time. That was something that plagued the younger teams, Israel, New Zealand, yesterday. That extra split second. Not shooting, not making the pass, and these defenses are too good. Ooh, just like that. Do not delay. Into Emilio Kefalataki. Backhand on the money. And Greece responds right away with a goal.
I mean, you can see the dropping defender is right in front of her, and they get that ball directly on the hand. She gets that shot off in half a second, and it really doesn't give you any time to react as either of the defenders. It's really tough to guard.
Yeah, you're spot on. There's not even time. A defender, in some cases, might say, let me give the exclusion. I don't like my positioning. There isn't even time for that. Inside and quickly answering on the post. Alma Yacobi draws the exclusion. They go right back into her, and she is able to hit. And back-to-back power play goals now for Israel. And there was a little deflection there on the back, but she was able to put enough pace on it that it didn't matter. Plevritou came from behind to try and tip that one away. Less than a minute to play in our first half. Great passing, but the field block seals the deal for Israel on that play. 30 seconds to go in this second quarter, just about even up with the shot clock here. Israel takes their time. They can play for the final look. Just kidding. That's going to be an offensive foul. It will come back to Greece, and now they can have the last look. Shot clock is off as Eleftheriou brings it into the front court. Again, looking for Emilio Kefalataki. And that was an easy pull down. Israel won't get another look, and that's all for the first half. A 2-2 game in the first. Greece has asserted themselves quite nicely here in this second quarter. They deliver 5 important goals to surge in front, 9-4. Trying to get back in the win column. We've reached intermission in our first of 4 on the day here from Long Beach. We take a timeout and return with more World Aquatics World Cup play shortly.
I'll be there to take the short neck to lead in finish. I'll be there quick relief to while you stress. This is the life that you need on the feet. I'm a soldier, on my feet. Don't surrender, and I won't retreat. And I'm trying to give you some. I'm not time to do what must be done. Be a king of kingdom of
All right, ladies, that's the whistle. We're not going to get the hand.
Second half upcoming, 9-4 lead for Greece. We look at some of the numbers here early on, and offensively, Greece spreading it around. Irini Ninu and Mirio Kefalotaki, 2 goals each. Eleftheriou, Plevritou, Sanaki, Fudotu, another Plevritou, each with a goal apiece. Ioannis Stamatopoulos had 2 stops through 2 quarters. They've now made the change and brought in Chrysoulis Diamantopoulos. Israel stays with their starter in the cage. For Israel, 4 different scorers: Jacobi, Bogachenko with that reviewed goal they counted, Kordanskaya, and Strugel. Teams have switched ends. It's Israel in the white caps, Greece in the blue caps. Israel moving left to right. And they'll control here to get started. As we mentioned, Italy and New Zealand to follow at 3 p.m. local time here in Long Beach. Shot clock to 4. That pass is deflected. A tough angle to try and connect down low with Jacobi, and the turnover is there.
We now have the golden change. Polo in the cage for Greece. It says it down. Polo.
Shot clock to 7. Greece patient on their attack. They dump that inside. Big wheel, and a penalty is the call. The strength of Mirio Kefalotaki to make that turn and still be engaged with the ball with defense and goalie in front is pretty impressive.
I would agree.
Good to go. That's their 3rd 5-meter connect. They're 3 for 4. So Greece ahead now, 10-4.
This time we have Kobe in the second. Big guard by
And a takeaway. Fast break developing. Counterattack on the way here for Greece. Plevritou calls her own number and drills it. So Hidi Rioti on the 5-meter, and then Plevritou with the steal. Defenders both peel off of her, and so they make the choice for her.
little bit of a miscommunication there, but it's tough when you're sprinting with your head down.
How much of that is looking underwater? You're trying to find where that body is if you can't communicate with each other the way you'd like to?
Yeah, usually the trailing defender goes where the defender that's in front is not, but sometimes each team has a process where, okay, if it's a 2-on-1 and I'm the trailer, I'm going to go here, you're going to go there. So there's a set plan rather than just reacting. But like any other situation, there's a million ways it could go, and there's never a right answer, so it's tough.
And a takeaway again. So Greece in charge here, 11-4, and looking to add. Few fakes, low cross cage. Ninu has a hat trick. And a 12-4 lead. And we talked yesterday, Cody, about the length of this trip for Greece and how they've been here since early June and still going. And what sort of fatigue could set in here for a team that has had to be on the road this long and training at a very high level and now playing at a high level?
Yeah, to have the tournament at the tail end of this training trip is really difficult to do. And I'm assuming the competition they've had on a daily basis with the USA team, I know they were doing common training. That's not easy for hours and hours a day. So they are using every bit of energy, I think, in this last tournament before they head home.
Inside the 2 is the call against Israel. Greece takes control. That pass just gets away. That will allow Israel to recover a bit. Shot clock to 10. Inside, Medio Kefalataki has that tipped out.
If you're Israel, it's hard to get into a defensive groove when you're chasing on the counterattack every single time. So them being able to set up here, take a breath, and get into what their plan is instead of just chasing after them should be a good change for them here.
There's Paris there with the block. Another one. Has the bar help there. So continued offense here for Greece. Shot clock to 4. That was a close call, but they'll say save Israel. A tangle. So an exclusion. And a timeout is called. So timeout called by Israel. We get a chance to listen into their huddle here.
If you have block, put the ball, you can take the drive. If you will take the ball, look at
So that was Medio Kefalataki excluded, and Israel will have the power play coming this direction. That was one of the challenges for Medio Kefalataki during the exhibition series. So talented, but sometimes goes a little extra. Found herself game excluded from the final match up at Stanford, and picked up other exclusions, and just obviously a very passionate player. Fine-tuning that part of it probably unlocks her to the next level. That was a well-done play from Israel. Levy on the dish from Kordunskaya. So the defender there trying to be in two places at once.
Yeah, Greece running a little bit of a different defense there. They were stunting at the ball and kind of pressing away, which left the middle wide open.
Fourth power play goal of the day for Israel. And a turnover now from Greece. Israel. And the ball's coming out here because there remains a battle in the backcourt between Farakash and Midio Kefalataki, and Midio Kefalataki excluded again. So back-to-back exclusions, and these are the things that leave the Greek staff exasperated a bit because they're unnecessary. The play is over, it's moving this way, and there's still a tangle.
Yeah, and as a defender, if you know that that center has a shot there.
They do it again, this time into Yakobi. Back-to-back 6-on-5 goals. Nice Israel contingent has turned out here. When they have scored, we hear the cheers from above.
Lots of cheering on the bench and lots in the stands. We love to see it.
And again, a great pass right there. Flashing middle. Gets free, and Yakobi able to convert. On this side, that's a good look. And a penalty will be called as they go into Sanaki. So Greece will have their fifth penalty shot here in this one. Ahead 12-6 with 3:34 to go. On the skip. Yiannopoulos. And the fourth 5-meter goal is there for Greece. We talked a bit about the fatigue and the length of the trip, and that was something Coach Kamenu said yesterday. She said, we're tired, but there are no excuses. You have to forget that and move on. 20 goals is too much for this level for any team, not just Greece. So she was not thrilled, didn't want to make excuses about it, but does acknowledge, look, it's been a long trip. There is some exhaustion. And the power play again here for Israel. They have been on a tear as of late on the advantage, while Greece has maintained control of this match. With three, they got another. Farakash. Just putting it through a couple of shot blockers and past the goalie. From a defensive standpoint, it seemed like they had bodies in position. Just made a better shot.
That's just a missed block. That's going to be on somebody's mind after the game for sure.
Redirect is tipped away.
Sets up shot at 2 meters.
2:25 left. Grab of the suit, an offensive called. And then a grab of the suit once more. Elsewhere in the pool. This one leads to an exclusion against Farakash. And a 6-on-5 coming for Greece. They have numbers and they have another goal. That's Ninu with her fourth. This time on the counterattack, 6-on-5 for a 14-7 lead. No good options there for the keeper. And the near side skip is the answer. 14-7. Kick out on Greece. Vasiliki Plevritou. Israel will continue their 6-on-5 attack here. They have gotten a whole host of opportunities. Shot clock to 3. Tried to pop that one up inside, a little torn in between a lob shot and a pass, and it was neither.
It's sometimes hard to know how much touch it actually takes to make those passes that are only 4 feet. You're only 4 feet away from your teammate, but it's such a delicate pass.
Meanwhile, on this end, Sanaki has another, the lefty out of Olympiacos. Got into some free space and was able to bury it. There's the fake, and that's enough to get the keeper moving. Nice, powerful turn there. No, Sassover just took that defender for a ride, had complete control of that ball, and turned and fired.
She's had a few of those similar moves earlier in the game, not resulting in a goal, so I'm glad to see her finally get one there.
Just went beast mode on that turn to make it 15-8. Power play upcoming. The exclusion against Levy. Reese on the power play. Just about 30 seconds left in this third quarter. A lot of fakes and rips it near side. Teriadu wrapping that around her defender. And we've gotten a chance to see some of the creativity of Greece here on offense today. We've seen this kind of wraparound attack a couple of times now. If you're the shot blocker there, how are you guarding against that opportunity?
I mean, that's the tough part about it. So typically you're responsible for the near side, the closer side of the cage, and the goalie is worried about the other side of the cage. So that is completely your block, which makes it very difficult when you're going against a shooter that has time, ability to fake. You're moving out towards them and still trying to take your side, but some very talented shooters here make it difficult.
3 quarters complete, and Greece has deployed their talented attack to build a 16-8 lead. They are well on their way to the 5th place match tomorrow here in Long Beach. We will step aside 4th quarter ahead as we bring to a close our first of 4 semifinal matches today from Long Beach City College. Back with more shortly.
Without foul. If you will swing like this to the player, because you asked me so many times, how many times they whistle foul to you, and how many times they didn't whistle foul to me. Don't go like this to the player, go cut. Try to take position without being over the plate. Rotate and try to take position. There in a hut, you are playing again with the ball too much time. You have to give the ball fast. If you cannot give the ball to the center forward fast, give the ball to center. Okay.
If the center goes down to the left side when we start the after goal, and we do 3-4.
Semifinal Saturday here at the World Aquatics Water Polo World Cup scene. 4 teams in the semifinals this year, as there were in the super final last year in the Canary Islands in Spain. Where Team USA's run of super final gold came to an end. They earned the bronze. They're up later today against Hungary in our first semifinal. Netherlands and Spain in the second. Fourth quarter underway here, and Israel will control to get us started. Cody Roberts and Greg Meskel here with you from Long Beach, California, on the West Coast here in Southern California in the U.S. Into the fourth quarter now. Greece. Nice step and turn, and that's off the post. Israel can't convert there. This was a 2-2 game in the first. Greece taking control since then. A lot of positive things for Israel to take away from this match, but Greece has found their groove here, especially on offense after a tough day at the office yesterday. And they keep pouring it on. Eleftheria Plevritou has another, and her team has 17, so they're trying to do to Israel what Hungary did to them a day ago and perhaps pile up 20. Second for Plevritou. The Plevritou trio has accounted for 4 goals today. All 3 have scored at least 1. Here's Eleftheria looking for more, and this time the keeper with a stop, and Israel's gone to their reserve. Mahal Katz has come on in the 13 cap after Ayelet Perez did the bulk of the work. .11 seconds to go on the shot clock. Opening moments, fourth quarter. This one long decided at this point. 5-meter look. Redirect one time. You thought shot initially wouldn't have counted inside 6 on the restart, but instead it is the perfect pass to Sanaki, who has 3 now. That's crafty.
Yeah, that's a really difficult pass to make. Wow.
And that was a really strong shot fake that made you think, here comes a lob try.
Yeah, if you're the goalie, you're thinking she's shooting the ball, and then all of a sudden there's someone right in front of you shooting it.
Especially, you've talked about kind of the rapid checklist you have to run through when time is winding down. I can't imagine a goalie, as that one goes wide, you think about your depth perception, what you're looking at, you're probably thinking that shooter's close enough. That's probably a shot outside 6. This is going to count, so I'm preparing for that. And then instead, it's a pass. All that needs to be figured out in microseconds. In the meantime, a timeout is called by Greece. So we will listen into a huddle here as we take a timeout with just a few minutes remaining in this one. Greece in front 18-8.
Press without foul.
More timeout. Both teams have full strength. Just over 6 minutes left in the fourth.
Back to live action. Just about 6 minutes to play here in the fourth.
Ready to push the ball on top.
Sanaki looking for more, couldn't hang on there. Haven't seen her drop many through 2 days, she's actually had an iron grip on the ball a lot of the time to be able to make some difficult plays happen.
I also love how Greece is always looking to make drive passes to their centers. That takes a lot of practice between the center and the perimeter players to execute, because if that flies over their head, it's going straight to the goalie and you're playing defense.
Israel drawing a power play here. Yeah, it's not what you think about on center entry, right? Just kind of put it on the water in front of them and they'll go get it.
Cammie Craig always loved a dry pass. I know that about her.
It also takes some skill on the center's part, right, to be able to catch that ball. You have to have really good hands.
Yep.
Follows there. Good hands, right place, right time. Dina Namachensky with the rebound tip in on the power play for Israel. So 6 on 5 scores for Israel. That's a good number. And the importance of following the shot. She stuck with that play after the shot let go. Breaks free of her defender and hits. Seconds on the shot. 4:49 to go. Entry comes in. Sanaki with the turn, and before she can get that one away, a hit to the head and exclusion. Exclusion goes against Futorian. That drops in. How did it find its way through? That pass luckily dropped in the middle of 3 Israeli defenders, and right there, Ioana Hidarioti. This probably shouldn't have worked.
Yeah, that definitely was not intended for her, but sometimes that's how it goes.
It's a short list of times when a pass into 2 meters can land on the water in between 3 defenders, and the offense will still score.
It just shows you so much going on in between the frame there on a 5-on-6 or a 6-on-5.
Coming up on 4 minutes to play. Israel looking to work on their 2-meter attack as Yao Kobe was posted up, but a steal. Lavritu. That's a dangerous pass. Stolen momentarily, and they'll give the steal to Kordenskaya. And now Israel looking to get out on the counter. They've got numbers here, a 2-on-1 as Strugel working with Farrakhan. Strugel, she'll take it herself. A few fakes and likes it on the skip. Shunet Strugel. And again, defenders making decisions here. In this case, the second defender was a little behind the play, right? So in that case, they decided to let the goalie deal with the ball handler.
Yeah, typically you want the goalie to know exactly where the shot's coming from. So having a defender jump late from the other side can open up a cross pass opportunity where the goalie has less of a chance of blocking it moving across the goal.
Cats with the steal. With 3:17 remaining. A few fakes from 5 meters, and the scoring parade continues. Farkash hitting from the outside. Well, Hungary Greece teamed up for 33 goals yesterday. You thought that was probably safe. But here we are with under 3 to play. And these two teams already sitting at 30 goals combined. And looking for more with the 5-meter called. Water polo folks who love defense are cringing everywhere. Greece going for their 20th goal, their 5th 5-meter score. And there it goes, Plevritu. Eleftheria Plevritu, she has 3. If you took the over, you're very excited right now. I don't know what the spread on this game was, but 20-11 right now.
Typically, when I get the question a lot of what's a normal water polo score for a game, it's definitely not 20-11.
No.
It's not my answer.
No, you just say, what, 8-7, 7-6?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an anomaly. We've seen a couple of them now. I would expect our 2 late games today to fall more into that category of sub-10 goals. We'll see what happens, but clangs off the bar on the backhand. It's funny in those games, in a game like this, even the team that wins, no one feels totally great from a coaching perspective because so many goals were scored. So you just can't help but think about the defensive stops that didn't happen.
Yes, absolutely. There's going to be a lot of video watched after this weekend, I think.
Offensive there. They didn't put the ball back in play. And now we'll get a timeout. Israel will talk things over here with 2:10 to play in the 4th quarter. Greece leading 20-11. We've got a whole host of water polo on the way. Up next, New Zealand and Italy in our 2nd, 5th, or 8th place semifinal. That comes up at 3 p.m. local time. Let's listen into the Israel huddle. Timeout complete. Here comes Israel. Had some good looking opportunities when they've gotten a chance to talk things over. See where they go here. Shot clock to 10. Greece has everyone pushed out far here and doubling that 1-2 meter option. Looking for Strugel. It'll be her shot from a long way away. The lob is off the mark.
And shot widely gauged. Ball back to Greece. Agitated away.
90 seconds remaining.
It's right back. And Greece keeping it on top.
Shot clock to 5. Goalie not there in time. Eleftheria Fudotu makes her mark here in the 4th. That's the look at the backhand previously. 21-11. you haven't watched a lot of water polo this weekend, might confuse you so far. There are so many goals scored. This is not, as we've talked about, typical of the high-level matches. We'll see what transpires over the next three.
Final minute of the game.
I think this many goals too, it just kind of breaks the rhythm of the game as well. You don't get into that back and forth.
Yeah, the stoppage time definitely has an effect on the players getting into a rhythm with each other, with their coaching staff. It just makes things tough.
40 seconds left in the fourth. Inside 2 meters. The violation there against Greece.
Crosses over after the earlier foul.
That's an exclusion. Turnover with exclusion. That was based off the official's gesture, a pull of the face on Bogachenko. This will lead to Greece with numbers and a couple of fakes to move the keeper out of the way. And an easy delivery for Greece to rack up their 22nd goal, with just 10 seconds to play, as Triha is able to score. I'm not sure if Greece was trying to do this, but they've succeeded in having every field player score. So Triha was the last player that hadn't gotten on the board. Led by 4 goals from Ninu, 3 from Sanaki, 3 from Eleftheria Plevritou, and all part of a monster effort here for Greece. They bounced back from a tough one yesterday against Hungary, where they allowed 20 goals, and they returned the favor here to Israel with 22 goals in a 22-11 victory. Eleftheria Plevritou, the player of the game, named in this one for Greece. And, well, Cody, you'd be hard-pressed to remember that once upon a time, this was a 2-2 game in the first quarter, and then Greece found a different level, and despite some of their fatigue, they got into a groove of the way they want to play offensively.
Yeah, I think they're still going to have some topics to talk over defensively. I think 11 was not the amount of goals they wanted to give up today, but definitely trending in the right direction. They were hitting shots today that they weren't hitting yesterday, which obviously puts 22 goals on the board.
Talking about those offensive numbers from the goalie situation for Greece. Stamatopoulou and Diamantopoulou didn't have to do a ton, just 3 stops there. We're talking about goalie saves. For Israel, Ayelet Perez with 8 stops. Mahal Katz came into the fourth. She had 1 save for Israel on offense. 2 goals each from Yacobi, Farkash, and Strugel to pace the Israel offense. Did a nice job on the power play. 8 of 10 on the advantage. They score 8 6-on-5 goals. Greece rather delivers with 4 of their own. And now we will step aside. Cody Roberts, Greg Maskell coming back at 3 p.m. for New Zealand and Italy. But now let's hear from our player of the match.
Yeah, okay. What?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Eleftheria, congratulations. You are the player of the game. Winning today against Israel. Maybe just some sentences about your team. I know you had a very difficult day yesterday, but how did you feel today?
Today the game was good for us. In defense wasn't so good, to be honest. We had also in our mind, which is bad, the game from yesterday, that we didn't play as good as we can. Now we look the next day for tomorrow. We are waiting the winner of Italy and New Zealand, and we go for the 5th position.
Could you learn from yesterday, and could you also practice something today?
Of course, we will learn from the yesterday loss, because it was the difference of the goal was big, and it wasn't good for us, for our performance general. So we'll make video, we'll see the video, we'll think what we make wrong, and we'll be more ready for tomorrow for the game.
Yes, congratulations once again. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye. Alexia, how are you today?
Better.
Better, yeah. You're smiling. You didn't smile yesterday. Can I ask that? What did you tell your team yesterday? Maybe back in the hotel. How was the mood?
Well, we have to be sad when we play that bad, but we have to face the truth. It happens in every team in the world, in every sport. A very bad day. We have to go on. We have to improve. So that's what I said. There's not a secret here. It's only to face our faults and to be stronger and to go on.
Did you see improvement in some tactical elements or in some parts of the game? Did you see improvement on your team?
Well, the rhythm was better, but I was expecting that because we were playing against a team that doesn't have the ability of Hungary, especially in the offense. So what I asked was to play well, to improve in the defense. I'm not very satisfied, but there was a small improvement. I hope that tomorrow, against a very strong team, we will be better.
Nice to see you smiling again, and good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Number 10, Vasiliki Prevesu, Athena Yiannopoulos. Number 12, Maria. With the block, gets her own rebound. And the second effort. Winds up, threads it. Naki in at center court. Ball goes into her in the backhand. Locked out. Pumps once, hits the back out to the wing. Looking for the top. 11-2. Entry into set and the sweep. Good for the goal. They keep it on top. And the shot. Setting up in the one-timer. They get to the middle end. Greece wins. Gets the ball. Lights it up. Rika takes the pass. Back down to the wing. And puts it over. They set it. Launches the lob, fires it. And good for the goal. Showing a patience, but the shot hits it. Cross cage, but it far. Play by. End of the net. That's 11-2. Entry into set. And the backhand. That's number 12. And that results in an exclusion. 5 darkness for the player at number 2. For Greece. Pulls up and puts it away. Now pass into set. And the backhand. Into the way. Into the post. Into the net. Into the post. Into the net. And she buries her. Walks it in. Winds up. And Steady do puts it on top. Number 6. Zanaki. Good for the goal. Do it there. She puts it in the set. Makes the turn and puts it away. That's number 10. Winds up and puts it away. And Israel Chinaki in the set. And she takes her to self from the outside. She walks it in. Takes the shot and blocked out. And Steady puts it in and the redirect. Good for the shot. Knocked down, but second effort. 11-2. Into the post, into the net. That's on the 2-on-1 break. Moves to the cage. And skips it. Winds up and finds it back. Strugo makes a pass into set, backhand. And Daria Fontotu with the score. All right, you need to swim in the water. Get ready. Time for player introduction. we ask everyone to please stand and remove your caps to join our competing countries with the playing of their national anthems. First up will be the national anthem of Italy.
welcome back to Long Beach, California for our continuing coverage of the World Aquatics Women's Water Polo World Cup. We're on to our second semifinal in the 5th through 8th place portion of the bracket. And that brings us New Zealand taking on Italy, joined by the former national team for Team USA, Cody Roberts, Greg Meskel here with you. In our first match earlier today, it was Israel putting up a great fight, but Greece just overwhelming as they poured on offensively. We have seen a whole host of scoring here this weekend here in Long Beach. And our last game, no different, 22-11. Greece picks up the win. Now, New Zealand and Italy, Cody, we look at these two teams, both squads that really failed to get their offense on track. They each only had 5 goals yesterday, ended up allowing double figures, and so some things each team wants to work on.
Yeah, I think just maintaining their intensity and effort throughout the course of the game. I think they both had a really strong start in their respective games yesterday, but really being able to continue that for all 4 quarters is going to be important today.
New Zealand had a whole host of 6-on-5 opportunities early. They ended up not really being able to convert at a strong rate, and that found themselves chasing the game against the Netherlands in our nightcap last night. Conversely, Italy just ran up against a Spain squad that seemed finely tuned, and Italy, like Greece in our last game, I think had visions of being in the semifinal for the medals, and now they have to play for at best 5th place.
Right, facing a pretty disappointing first day. It's a difficult task to show up today and be ready to go, but like we said in the last game, this is a long year leading up to Paris, and any competition is an opportunity for them to learn more about themselves and about their opponents.
Good look there at the bench for Italy and Coach Sillipo, and across the way now Coach Winstanley Smith for New Zealand. Our officials in this one is Verkonina from Hungary and Ms. Dutil from the Netherlands. It's New Zealand in the white caps and Italy in the blue caps. On a perfectly sunny day, all the clouds have cleared out here in Long Beach. About 30-40 minutes south of Los Angeles here in Southern California at Long Beach City College. Great venue for water polo. On to our semifinal round. We've got more water polo next week in Southern California. The Men's World Aquatics World Cup will take place at the University of Southern California. That's June 30th to July 2nd. That's another great venue for water polo. So looking forward to a lot of good action here today. And then, of course, more water polo next weekend. Tickets for both events still on sale. If you're in the Southern California area, usawaterpolo.org, the place to go to secure your tickets for this weekend or for next weekend at USC. As we are underway now. And it'll be Italy getting there first to control. Italy moving left to right on your screen. Condorelli in the cage for Italy in this one. For New Zealand, they go with Bridget Leyburn getting the start, the starting goalkeeper for the University of Hawaii. And immediately, Italy draws a 6-on-5 chance. First chance here for Italy on the power play. From about 6 meters, it's Avegno with the strike from the perimeter. Avegno competes for Mataro in Spain. Just right over the top of that defender. A little late with the shot block, and Avegno able to convert. New Zealand showed off some strong center play yesterday, drawing opportunities, as we mentioned, on the 6-on-5. Just couldn't convert. And it's always fun when you talk about something and then it happens. Power play opportunity here for New Zealand. They'll get their first chance. Good battle there from Emily Nicholson, setting things up. But this is the other part of the puzzle that they couldn't figure out yesterday. The redirect, and that was a decent look on the far post. The attempt there from Libby Galt, but the keeper, Condorelli, right place, right time to bat that one down. So New Zealand falters on their first 6-on-5 try. Patient attack here from Italy. A look from long range, and the veteran lets it rip. Roberta Bianconi. So 2 goals early here for Italy, showing off their long range capabilities. And again, no shot blocking there on that side of the cage, so the veteran knows where to put it. This pass on the water for Nicholson. No goal, there was an ordinary. So they'll reset this with 6:07 to play in the first quarter. Shot clock to 5. Running low on time. And Quinn will toss this aside. Moving in now. Plenty of time to work with. They go inside. Big hook shot look through 3 defenders. And Italy is there for their 3rd goal, courtesy of Agnes Cocchieri.
Strong start for Italy here, and not exactly how New Zealand is probably wanting to spend these first few minutes.
A couple of good looks here. Senses the defense coming. 2 were coming in addition to the defender behind Cocchieri, and she just quickly goes up over the top. New Zealand with their 2nd power play. Ball coming out. A little confusion here as to who was excluded. Officials clear it up that it's Daphne Bettini. And New Zealand back on the attack with 5:24 to go in our first quarter. And there's the power play strike for New Zealand. They're able to break through with Sophie Shorter-Robinson. The Arizona State Sun Devil, her college coach, Petra Party, in the crowd here today, looking on, gave a big cheer there after Shorter-Robinson put it away. Good rotation. They go back inside. Layburn ready on this backhand attempt. So we saw Cocchieri go the other way with that hook shot delivery previously. This time tries the backhand, and Layburn ready. It's a 3-1 lead for Italy, just about halfway through the first. That pass bobbles, looking for Shorter-Robinson. And Italy takes control. Picozzi on the move. Looking back inside again, they've been working for Cocchieri here as of late. It's been paying off. They go back into her holding position, but this time an offensive foul as she was pushing off with the off arm.
Big advantage here for New Zealand if they can capitalize on this.
This is Cocchieri trailing the play, as you mentioned. Libby Galt moving in. Tries to go inside, and that pass is a little bit short. Defender able to take control as Picozzi comes up with it, and now what was going to be a New Zealand advantage is now a 3-on-2 developing here for Italy. And it's developing into a goal for Silvia Avegno. That's a 2-goal swing right there, as Italy found themselves down on the New Zealand counter. Only to turn it into instant offense here with Avegno.
The New Zealand centers do such a nice job of drawing defenders, and once they do get the ball in, making a quick move. But New Zealand has to start looking to shoot from the outside. If they're shoving the ball in with 4 defenders, there's not much these centers can do, no matter how talented they are.
That's a great point. These passes have been difficult to deal with, even if they were perfect, right? There's just so much defense there.
And as a referee, they're not necessarily going to reward you for making a dangerous pass like that.
Tipped out. Gondarelli sends that one away as New Zealand has the advantage here. Their 3rd power play try. Again, the redirect, they get another. Emily Nicholson. So that's their 2nd power play. So already clicking a bit better here on the 6-on-5 than they were yesterday.
Yeah, and in speaking with their head coach yesterday, she was mentioning that a lot of these girls play in different clubs or universities all over the world, and they only had about 10 days of training before heading out here, which is not a lot of time to create continuity within a group. So this is a good start to their full year of training and hopes to get something started here.
Yeah, extremely challenging, as you mentioned. This New Zealand squad well represented in the U.S. college system, which has people all over the place. You have others that are playing club water polo in Europe, so to bring them all back together for a camp, very challenging for the coaching staff. And so you can be sure an event like this is actually just a very useful camp, as that was a beautiful entry into the post for the 6-on-5 score, courtesy of Veronica Gant. So Gant did not play yesterday, gets the nod today over Jaduda Gilardi. That makes it 5-2 in favor of Italy. Under 3 to play in the 1st quarter. Looking to turn and drawing another exclusion. More Emily Nicholson, the former Fresno State standout. Sets up a 4th power play here for New Zealand. Around the way they work it. Trying to go high upper corner, and Gondarelli was ready for that one with the save. Picozzi leads the break. On the inside, on the hand, Leyburn bats it away. Good creativity there from Palmetti to keep that play alive. They'll go back into her, and as she reaches for that one, draws the exclusion. New Zealand staff completely disagrees, but it's a power play for Italy. They're 2 for 2, looking to make it 3 for 3. Tough angle there for the right-hander. They'll go back out high and now work it to 2 meters once more. Options across the way. Here's one. That's a field block and a half right there.
Another opportunity.
McKenty turning that one away. The exclusion's over. Italy slides it in near side. Aveno, she has 3 quickly in this one. Keeper there, just frustration for Leyburn, and just didn't react fast enough.
Yeah, typically, I mean, out of all the positions to shoot, the righty at 6 is exactly who you want to be taking that shot if you're on defense, but she really was a skilled shot, sneaking that in under her arm.
The exclusion here, New Zealand drawing another chance. With 1:13 to go in the first. Cross cage, Doyle's there. And they chip away now, 6-3. And we hit on it early, Cody, and that's a good example. They didn't waste that much time. Doyle got it, let it go.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is seeing an opening and taking it, especially on a 5-on-6 or a 6-on-5 when the defense doesn't have a chance. They're still kind of swimming to their positions and looking around, not expecting you to shoot it quite yet. It's a smart play on the New Zealand players' part.
Offensive with the off arm. And it goes against Palmetti. So we come under 1 minute to go in the first quarter. New Zealand trying to make this a 2-goal game. Around the perimeter, they work it. That pass dangerous, almost stolen. Shot clock to 8. They try to go back inside, and at the last second, an exclusion. Italian bench can't believe it, but the power play is underway right now for New Zealand. Aveno goes out. Still on the advantage, and that pass will derail things here. Shot clock to 4. They gotta go. That's field blocked, rebound, and then stolen away. Jordan Robinson was trying to deliver a backhand on that second effort. Instead, it's snuffed out. Power play ends, and Italy has one more look. Catch and release off the post. Leyburn will hang on. She'll let that go, but it'll be after the horn, and that's all for the first quarter. So New Zealand much improved on their offensive end of things. 3 power play goals. That accounts for all 3 of their scores, but Italy leading after 8 minutes thanks to 3 goals alone from Silvia Aveno. They're ahead 6-3. We step aside and return with the second quarter here from Long Beach.
And then we go here. Okay, we're moving out. We saw what stretched the defense was so big. When the ball swings back, we're moving to the middle and we need to put a drive in. We are going to get really nice shooting lines from these 2 players. Yeah, everyone understands? We just need to think. Someone coming out when we played 4 here, we came around. She's like that, she's cross face, it's a difficult shot. We've got this 2-on-1 here. Think, breathe, high performance, okay. Pause, take it in for a second and then we go. Yeah, defense, we just need to be more active. We need to be more active. You know, when we start to hustle a bit more and see back, we're getting better calls. Yeah? And then on their 6-5, they're swinging it the other way, right? So they're coming around like our 4. Yeah? And they score from here. We need to be compact from here. Because the middle was on the other side. There's a heavy music here. And we've gone both sides and we've left this way. Yeah? Okay? All right, girls. Let's go. Come on, sit down.
All right, ready to line up. Have a good second quarter underway.
Second quarter ahead here in Southern California. World Aquatics Women's Water Polo World Cup. Italy leading New Zealand 6-3. Aveno with 3 goals to pace the Italian attack. Also Bianconi, Cocchieri, and Gant all able to score. After Caterina Bancelli got the start yesterday in cage, Italy going with Giuseppina Condarelli today. She has 3 saves. Likewise, New Zealand switched things up. Jessica Milicic, the keeper yesterday, but Bridget Leyburn getting the start today. She has 2 saves through a quarter. Live stats available courtesy of Micro Plus Timing Services. You can access all the data from this match at worldaquatics.com or usawaterpolo.org. Looks as if there's a tie for the swim off, and we'll do a jump ball. It's a fantastic game of charades right there by the official trying to explain what they didn't like about that swim off, but it will lead to a jump ball. Oh, that's a new one.
And Italy chose to jump our second quarter underway.
Typically, Cody, the jump ball is just that. The players would jump for the ball, right?
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
That was the old smash it into the water.
I think it surprised the players as well.
Everyone was caught off guard. Well, if you're a New Zealand fan, you'd say ball don't lie, because that one went to Italy, but they get it right back on the deflection. Not for long. Offensive. Italy will take control. Defender giving chase. 3-on-2. They go inside. Oh, creative behind the head. Put it away. Cross cage. Viacava.
Those types of calls, the unexpected offensive fouls on the counterattack, where New Zealand actually had the advantage moving into offense, and then the quick turnaround gave Italy a nice counter there. All from that one foul.
And they quickly sussed out what New Zealand was trying to do defensively. And you can see that was a veteran group there for Italy that quickly spread apart and got themselves in some space where they could attack. And Viacava was the beneficiary to put Italy in front 7-3. So after the offensive foul, as it so often happens, that leads to something extra. And so now an exclusion on Nicholson. And Italy will come to the front court with a power play. 2 for 3 thus far on the extra player advantage. Make that 3 for 4. As Giustini gave a few fakes and then let it fly. Was the bright spot in the loss to Spain. She had 2 goals in the losing effort, and again, just right over a shot block and in. Just 20 years old, one of the younger up-and-comers on this Italian squad for Coach Silippo. That's a tough pass inside. Shorter Robinson able to corral it for the moment. Shot clock to 5. They try to go back into her. And defender aggressively reaching in front. That was Viacava forcing the takeaway. New Zealand determined to get that ball under 2 meters, but at some points it's a little too risky.
Yeah, they're going to have to start shooting from the outside or getting some drives moving, something, because their centers are doing a great job.
That one is just beyond the goal to keep it at 8-3, coming up on 6 minutes remaining. Second look at that shot. All net, but on the outside. They go inside, and holding inside position this time around was Shorter Robinson, and the penalty will go against Viacava. Houghton, 3 goals yesterday. She will step up here and buries that shot. Emerson Houghton. Told you yesterday she competes for Spandau in Berlin. Hits on the 5-meter here and makes it an 8-4 game with 5:43 to play. What are you seeing defensively here from New Zealand?
It looks like, compared to the first quarter, they're trying to stay longer in a press. So hopefully not letting these shooters walk in from 6 meters all the way to 4 meters and getting these easy shots on goal. The longer you're able to press, the harder it is for them to move the ball. But you do risk the ball getting entered into center just like that.
And it leads to a 5-meter call. That was Kokieri battling to hold position. She had sealed off the inside, and once that pass came in, it was going to be very hard for it not to be a penalty. So after New Zealand hit on their first penalty, now Italy will have the chance here. Not to be. Gets a rebound though. Lob attempt on the money. So just like last game, penalty shot missed, but sticking with the play, Giustini has her second on the rebound follow. Justini, calm, cool, collected, did not seem bothered at all. That one was missed, just casually picked it right back up.
Yeah.
I'll go 1-on-2 and just put it over your head. That's such a big part for all these athletes. They're trying to make rosters for World Championships, make rosters for potential Olympic Games. The emotional component of all this, hard to quantify on the stat sheet, right? Just to kind of stay level-headed.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in your mistakes and stay in the past, but it's really about staying present, moving forward. How can you get better in the next play, in the next possession, which is a lot easier said than done, but something that these athletes are very, very good at.
4:38 remaining as Italy takes control here in the second quarter. In front 9-4. Another rocket from the outside. You talked about New Zealand trying to press to avoid shots like this, but it's Marletta letting it go from distance and finding the back of the cage. A 6-3 edge for Italy in the first quarter. They are now outscoring New Zealand here in the second 4-1. As Marletta is on the board with her first. Field blocker does the job there. Bettini. Now on the counter, it's Bianconi. Drops it in. That one was a little bit beyond the reach of Cocchieri, and the official's not going to reward there. Three and a half to go. Second quarter. That pass is on the water. It'll slow things down for New Zealand. And the lob is halted by Condorelli. Talk about playing for 2 meters and working for calls. It's one of the interesting layers to officiating this sport. And we'll come back to it in a moment. Here is cruising in now Avenio, going spin cycle, taking 2 for a ride in an ordinary. No look, quick turn, Leyburn. Turns away that try. We talk about 2-meter play, and the official is looking at the quality of the pass. Right? So they're not just rewarding or judging on contact, but also thinking, will this even be anything as they decide whether to make a call.
There's a million factors that go into everything.
And now we have an exclusion.
Exclusion.
6 blue, and we'll replay.
And no goal. So Nicholson tries to go quickly. That was a rule change going back now a few years of trying to be a bit more deliberate in signaling who is excluded. The concern is sometimes that it does cut down on those opportunities for the quick, especially right in front of the goal. And that's what New Zealand would like to have back, is they were able to cash in on what would be a goal in college water polo. But it all works. Houghton makes it count. They don't get the initial one, but they find it from the outside and cut this down to 10-5.
Seems like Italy is so close to running away with it, and then New Zealand keeps clawing back in. It's too close for comfort, I still think, for Italy, so they're going to have to keep shooting.
There's no doubt after yesterday, and that didn't go the way they wanted, but you can be sure they were hoping to try and put New Zealand away early here. And the underdog hanging tough, at least through this first half. 2:13 to go. This is a contra foul against Italy. New Zealand now with Houghton. Houghton goes across the way. Easy money for Bernadette Doyle, her second.
Number 3, Bernadette Doyle.
Second look, and Doyle gets some space in the lefty. They get that keeper moving side to side, and Doyle's able to convert. Doyle's gone on to play club water polo after competing for Hawaii as well in the college system. That'll be a kick out on Houghton. Here's the 6-on-5 now for the Italians, right on the post. Good interior passing, and Chiara Tabani puts that away. This is one of the challenges for New Zealand here. They can't be in a goal-for-goal situation down 11-6, but the Italians answer right back.
Yeah, and these ejections are such a big part of our game, but you don't want to be taking these kind of fouls on the perimeter where you're not hearing the whistle or something where it's just an error, not necessarily a tactical ejection. Those are really tough to come back from. And now one of their best players in foul trouble early in this game.
In the meantime, New Zealand had drawn an exclusion, but then they turned the ball over without even getting a chance. So Shorter Robinson draws the kick out. They don't get a shot away. And now Italy back to even strength. But now New Zealand takes it away. So a little sloppy play here over the last minute as we are coming up on halftime, 1:15 to go. Entry in. Just an ordinary, and that's a lucky call for New Zealand. That is a tough pass to deal with on the water in a triangle of defenders. Shot clock to 2 now. Lob attempt, and Condorelli on point. Less than a minute to play in this first half. Italy trying to add. (11-6) edge. Out of play. Unforced error. Italy throws it away. And these are the moments that allow New Zealand to hang around in this game. Again, they're not right there, but within shouting distance here at 11-6. Good look. Shorter Robinson just off the mark. But they'll say tipped out. Condorelli got enough of it. And so it'll come back in for New Zealand with 17 seconds to play. Shot clock is off for New Zealand. From the outside, and that skip is there. Doyle having herself a day. 3 goals for Bernadette Doyle. Left-hander. Tricky hop there off the water. And that makes it 11-7 with just 12 seconds to play. Shot clock is off. They go over the top. 4 seconds left. And they'll call a penalty. They thread the needle up high to Tabani. And so Italy, with just 2 seconds left, will get a 5-minute try. What frustration here for New Zealand. They're out of this half.
Yeah.
And now give the penalty.
They just score a great goal coming at the end of this quarter, and all they're thinking is, okay, I need to get out of the quarter. Just one stop. We have 12 seconds, and this is exactly what you do not want to happen.
Here's the 5-meter. Skip is in. Aveno has her 4th in this first half. An excellent start for Sylvia Aveno. Penalty on Jackson. Last chance. Leyburn, we know she has range, but that one is out of play, and that's all for this first half. So Italy out in front of New Zealand, 11-7. New Zealand keeping things a bit close, but Italy, powered by 4 goals from Silvia Avegno, have claimed their lead at the break. We will step aside and return with more World Aquatics Women's Water Polo World Cup. Third quarter up ahead here from Long Beach.
Okay, first thing, way better when we're pressing into 2-3-4. They're going to kick us out anyway, let's give them a reason, yeah? Second thing, in offense, we want 3 driving to the right. The ball can be there, or it can start here, 3's driving, especially when we've got left-hander at the top right. It's creating nice lines, and then Bernie, they're probably going to jump over and lunge over to you. That's when we look to offload.
To the left or the right?
To that side, cross pass, yeah? Because you've scored 2 lovely goals, they're probably going to jump there, up fake cross pass, okay? 5-6, they're swinging all the way, like our 4, okay? So we've got 2 goals from this post, the deep post. So make sure the wing steps to the post because the middle was getting dragged out. Yeah, everyone understand? It's the first instance we play normal. When they move to offset, that's when we're stepping up in that lane. Does everyone understand? Yeah? Okay, 6-5, run 12 for the first one, then run 4, and this post here on 4, I want you really working out behind the defender. Okay, girls, hey, we've got to keep hustling. We've got half a game. We're playing really good water polo. You're creating 7 goals. It's amazing. Okay? On zone, I want us aggressively hitting out at the player. So anticipate, up over your legs.
Second half on the way between Italy and New Zealand in our second semifinal in the 5th through 8th place bracket. Greece with a decisive win in our opener today, 22-11, so they will play for 5th. Italy trying to hold off New Zealand here as we get underway. In the second half, we know Israel will play for 7th place. Our medal round semifinals to follow. Team USA and Hungary coming up at 5 p.m. And then we'll close things out with the Netherlands and Spain. So some good water polo ahead. And a penalty on this end as teams have switched ends. So Italy now moving right to left. And they will go for the 5-meter here. This is their 3rd try from the 5-meter line. That was drawn well by Palmetti on the inside. And now Bettini will take this shot. Italy 1 for 2. Make it 2 for 3. And that's Daphne Bettini. Competes for the Orizzonte club. And is able to hit here. Good second look at what was the drawn penalty, and understandable as Palmetti had held inside position, had that ball, and then found herself on the wrong end of things. So keeper change as New Zealand brings Jessica Milicic in. So after Bridget Leyburn went the first 2 quarters, Milicic, who played all yesterday, has returned. Condorelli remains in the cage for Italy. Steal is there for Bettini.
Bettini takes the outlet pass as we go the other way. Now line Justini.
Opening minute of the third quarter.
Palmieri set. She gets the 2000.
At the last moment, an exclusion. So Palmetti's been working hard here to start this second half, and that exclusion will go against Doyle. Player advantage underway now for Italy. Off the post, and Milicic able to gather. And then an exclusion against Italy in transition. And now New Zealand will call for time with 6:39 to play. Trailing 13-7. They get the stop on the advantage and then go the other way. They draw the exclusion, so they will have a power play. When play resumes, we'll get a chance to listen into the huddle.
Top right. Let's go, guys. Let's go, girls. What's the first call?
Timeout complete. 13-7, Italy leading, but New Zealand facing a 6-on-5. 3 for 7 thus far on the advantage. And the call there was an exclusion with substitution against Veronica Gent. So a little something extra there. So she was sent off, but can be replaced. Currently New Zealand on the power play. 6:35 to go in the third. That pass just gets through. Off the bar, long rebound right into the hand of Milicic. Gabriel Milicic on. Sides are even. Power play over here for New Zealand. Shot clock to 9. Deflected, almost beat the keeper. That was one of those near tough luck plays as Palmetti got a lot of that shot, but it ends up ricocheting off the bar. Italy, aggressive. Not there. Rebound hauled in by Bettini. Bianconi. And Milicic able to track that one the whole way from the perimeter. We've seen throughout this tourney so far, Cody, some goalie changes, some of it planned, splitting halves, some of it by necessity. For a defender in the pool, when your goalie changes, what sort of checklist? Is there a conversation that happens between the field players and the goalie to kind of prepare for the new person who's come in?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Luckily, in practice, you have a lot of time to train and build those relationships with both goalies. But yeah, there's definitely some nuanced differences that you feel confident, more confident in one goalie versus the next, or, you know, strengths and weaknesses there. I feel like a big one is passing out of the cage. Like, there's always a little bit of a difference between confidence and passing between goalies that can make a big difference on the offensive end.
Some keepers have the deep ball, others will have to go short, as New Zealand can't convert on that last 6-on-5, so now 3 for 9. Italy with a lob, dances off the frame of the cage, out of play with 4:40 left. All goalies have to communicate too, but there certainly feels like there are some that are more vocal than others and are going to be just a constant soundtrack in the head of a defender.
Mm-hmm.
Shot clock to 5. A drop with 2. The lob is off the bar. Nicholson actually might have had a shot at that ball, but was still tangled in transition.
You can see some fatigue starting to set in. seeing if it's worth it to chase a 50-50 ball or not, or just go back to defense.
And with that in mind, it seemed like we might have a little 5-on-5 in the field as well, but now Nicholson will join it along with Giustini. Milicic gets the left hand on that with 3:45 to play in the third. Team USA and Hungary coming up at 5 p.m. local time, our first semifinal. Spain and the Netherlands to follow at 7 p.m. We'll have it all for you here live and on demand on the World Aquatics YouTube page. You can go back and look at shots just like that. It's Valeria Palmetti with that backhand. Just backed in low, got great position, and wasn't much the defense could do. When you're going to get that type of position, as we saw in the replay there, on single coverage, it's going to be very, very difficult defensively.
Yeah, as a center defender, a lot of time you're just trying to buy time for your crossers to get to the center, to get to the ball. So if you can contain the center within an area and really push towards where your help is coming from, it can help a lot. But when you have a center that has quick hands like that and can get a shot off as quickly as that last one went in, it makes it very difficult.
Perimeter attack controlled by Italy. Out in front by 7. Drop it inside, cruising towards the cage and putting it away with the right. Avenio, she has 5, making a strong bid for our player of the match here. This is just complete body control, holds off the defender. This is where we always remind folks that if you're new to water polo, they aren't touching the bottom. She scooted towards the cage with complete leg strength alone and then put it away with the right.
Doyle. Robinson in at the set spot. Keep it inside.
Timer to 4. With 2. That was a hard angle, and Condorelli cut it down well. With 2:28 to play in the third. This was a 6-3 game after 1. Italy in control ever since, 15-7. Bianconi has that stuffed by Milicic. Quick turn, Doyle. She had been on fire in the first half, but not enough pace on that one. Looking for her 4th goal. Bettini cruises in, and Milicic has come in and made a couple of nice saves here in this third quarter. Quinn goes weak side. They wanted that pass sooner, as Doyle has that one come right back to her on the rebound. Shot attempt there, stuffed, and then trying to pursue that is Quinn. She'll take it away. Quinn comes up with it, still has the ball. And an ordinary. That's an ordinary. Keeper swimming away. She doesn't realize she's going to be excluded. If New Zealand hurries, they should have a quick look at the cage here. But no one is down in this end of the pool to help. And Quinn with an offensive foul. Just a blatant grab of the suit. Had Bianconi fistful of suit out of the water, and what should have been an easy one for New Zealand after Italy commits a mistake. Condorelli didn't understand that it was an ordinary, not in her favor. She's kicked out, and New Zealand cannot take advantage. And all Coach Winstanley Smith can do is stand there, hands on hips, frustrated. Field block, but a rebound.
Both teams are back at full strength.
Exclusion is over against New Zealand, but right as sides were coming level. It's more Avenio. She has 6 now. Sylvia Avenio putting together a day. You'll see as the defender returning from the corner, she does not wait and puts it home.
Bit of a rough minute there for New Zealand. They had a great chance offensively, get an unfortunate offensive foul, and then they get a great field block on that initial attempt from Italy, and then they get the ball back, bad bounce, and end up scoring. So that's just one blow after another.
And we've talked about it throughout the weekend, an exclusion again here, this time on Italy, but all the little pieces that have to come together. New Zealand had a couple of great individual moments, but they didn't result in the offense or the defense they would have wanted. Shot clock is off here. They got to go. 1 second left. Lob attempt. Wide of the cage on that try from Houghton to finish things off here in the third. So Italy, they pitch a shutout here in this third period. 4-0 to push their advantage out in front of New Zealand, 16-7. We step aside. We'll return with the fourth and final.
Girls, everybody go to halfway and back. Halfway and back. Gabby, halfway and back.
Va bene anche così, nel finale 1 e 5 sono lontane, quindi anche 1 e 5 eventualmente possono dare una mano, però se mettiamo una lì davanti un poco più pronte proprio da 1 e da 5 a portare il contropiede. Vai.
Prima io l'ho fatto, solo che Fiorella non arrivava e quindi non si è sbilanciata. Questo ha tornato da 1.
Fourth quarter ahead between Italy and New Zealand. Tough third quarter for New Zealand. Those last 8 minutes, they don't score. They have a golden opportunity there late. Couldn't put that one away. And so we'll see if they can get back to what they were doing early in this one. It was in that first period where they really came out strong. Had a couple of power plays put together. Well, at one point they were 3 for 5 on the 6-on-5. So they were headed in a good direction there. Just haven't been able to keep up with this Italian attack as Italy controls the sprint, and it will, as probably painful as it is for New Zealand now, but to be in these tournaments, this is how you get the experience to go through those growing pains, to ideally be a better team, better players.
Right. And every time you play in a tournament like this, you go back to practice and your coaches can say, do you remember how intense it felt being in these games? And then you go to practice and maybe the intensity falls a little bit, but you have to be preparing against the level that you're going to be matching up with here in these big tournaments.
Opening moments, fourth quarter. Good help defense. New Zealand coming over with a double team. Doyle and Galt were there to close out that opportunity. Here's Doyle, 3 goals already, now gives off to Galt. Shot clock to 9. They go in. Good step, lob, and a beautiful save. Condorelli goes to get that one as Nicholson put a nice soft touch on it on the turn and face. So extended offense now for New Zealand. The thud of a field block from Picozzi. An even longer offensive possession now for New Zealand, potentially. Quinn works inside, drops it off into Nicholson. She will draw the power play, sending it off Bianconi. And this possession continues. Galt, skip off the post, sides come even. So New Zealand on offense for what felt like 2 minutes, wasn't quite that long, but they get that final shot and just off the mark for Galt.
One thing watching this Italian team, the second New Zealand is shooting that ball, they're off on the counterattack. They just leave. And it leads to these amazing counterattack opportunities. But if New Zealand gets caught watching their shots, they're down in every position.
New Zealand will get another 6-on-5. So Italy, as they get back on defense, and they've done this a couple of times now, just getting tied up in transition. These are exclusions that are happening off the ball, not within 6 meters. And it sets up New Zealand again for a chance. Their 12th 6-on-5 try, now 3 for 11. Doyle, she's been the go-to. That shot's not there. Condorelli has done a nice job patrolling the cage, but we won't go far. It's an offensive against Italy with a kick, and we'll stay down this end. New Zealand in need of some reinforcements. Here's Kaylin Howarth, the Fresno State Bulldog. That's a precarious pass into the backcourt. And now they'll bring Quinn up as we near 5 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Quinn tries to break free. And then an exclusion. So they were trying to thread the needle to get Quinn on a drive there on the near side. Instead it's taken away, and then Quinn trying to get it back. Is kicked out. That's a rare miss in close. Bianconi does not usually sky those shots from about 3 meters. More exclusions. So New Zealand had been excluded. Quinn was sent off. They're back to even strength. Now Italy excluded. It's a whistle fest here in the fourth. Cocchieri goes out. Doyle, the exclusion over. 6-on-6, Doyle moves in, tries to jam it in on the near side, gets her own rebound. And New Zealand can go to work. Trying to set things up for Nicholson. She is in a great battle with Tabani. Instead, that skip read the whole way by Condorelli on the attempt there from Galt. Halfway through this fourth quarter, Italy on their way to the 5th place match, where they will meet Greece tomorrow. Beautiful piece of shooting. Bettini. Gets up quick and fires it for a 10-goal lead for Italy. And again, these are sharpshooters. Right-hander on the right side hits that high upper 90. Under 3.5 to play in the fourth. Tipped out. Condarelli takes that attempt from Howarth, puts it high. And it'll come back in here for New Zealand. That one was right on the mark. Would it have gone bar out? Hard to know. Condarelli didn't want to doubt it and make sure it didn't go into the back of the cage with 3:13 to play. Howarth again. Doyle. Calling for it on the inside was Galt. Wanted it on that right hand, but instead the shot try goes wide of the cage from Gabriella MacDonald with under 3 to go. So Italy gets to exercise some of the frustration from yesterday. Only 5 goals scored in their loss to Spain. They're able to open it up a bit more here. Pile up 17 goals. We have seen a ton of offense. My prediction, the pace can't keep up. Cody, I don't think we're going to see a combined 35 goals in our next game.
Yeah, that would be very surprising. But I don't know. It's been surprising all weekend. So
this is true. This is true. Shorter Robinson earns her chance. Getting Avenio excluded. Even with the loss, this is an area New Zealand can hang their hat on. Drawing 6-on-5. This is their 14th power play opportunity. Now, they've only converted 3, but that's a skill right there that they have established.
Yeah, and we were talking about chemistry in the beginning of this game, how new this group is to playing with each other. And 6-on-5 is one of those facets of the game where chemistry goes a long way. You learn a lot about timing, on passing, on movement, when people want the ball, when they don't want the ball. And so that, I think, will come with timing and time spent together in the water.
On the counter, Galt giving chase to Bettini and commits the penalty. Italy will get their 4th attempt here from the 5-meter line with 1:50 to play in the 4th. And here's a chance for Claudia Marletta. Officials getting everyone lined up. A drop. Never got the shot off, so losing the handle at Marletta. So Italy 2 for 4 now on their penalties. One was blocked. They then immediately scored on the rebound. And this one, just a drop. Save Condarelli. You see the drop every now and again. Sunny day, a lot of sunscreen. Sometimes the ball eventually gets a little slick. Exclusion against Shorter Robinson. Coming up on 1 minute to play. Italy looking for more. Not this time. Milicic turns it away. 50 seconds to play in this 4th quarter. So New Zealand will take on Israel tomorrow for 7th place. In the 5th place battle, Italy will meet Greece. Not much on that shot try, as Nicholson was trying to push that towards the goal. Still tied up with Bettini. Condarelli asking both just start swimming. This game was almost over. 25 seconds left. 8-second difference, shot and game clock. So Italy will need to do something with the ball here. Giustini. Here's a tangle, heard a scream. A little physical play here to close things out, but no calls made because this game is about to end. And so it looks as if we'll get cooler heads to prevail here, and we'll get out of this one without anything further as Italy secures the victory over New Zealand 17-7. So Italy moves on to the 5th place match. New Zealand will play for 7th, and Italy turned up the heat defensively, a 5-0 shutout over the 3rd and 4th quarters. And no surprise, Silvia Avegno with 6 big goals is our player of the match. But again, the high scoring leaves you thinking offense, but Italy locked it down in that second half.
Yeah, which is exactly what they wanted to do coming into today. Yesterday, not necessarily performing in the way that they wanted to, so coming in and having such a defensive presence throughout the entire game from start to finish is probably feeling good moving into tomorrow.
Let's look at some of the numbers. We told you about Avegno, 6 goals to lead everyone. Giustini, Bettini, 2 goals apiece. All but 1 field player for Italy finds the back of the cage. Condarelli, 18 saves in cage. So she was busy. For New Zealand, Bernadette Doyle with 3 goals leads their offensive attack. Emerson Houghton again, a nice night with 2 scores. And in cage, they split time. Leyburn goes in the first half, 3 stops. Milicic in the second with the 5 saves there. And some good efforts for New Zealand. So coming up, our player of the match interviews. Then at 5 p.m., Team USA takes on Hungary in our first semifinal. At 7 p.m., the Netherlands meeting Spain. For Cody Roberts, Greg Meskel, we're signing off for now. We'll pass you over to our player of the match interview, Silvia Avegno, coming up, and we'll hear from Avegno and from others. So stay close.
Silvia, congratulations. Maybe an easy victory, but let's speak about you. 6 goals, 6 shots, it's 100%.
This is the work of the team, not only mine. And now we have to think about tomorrow for the game against Greece.
Is this World Cup a good preparation for Fukuoka?
Yeah. This tournament is very important for the World Championship in Fukuoka. And before came us, we did 1 week against Hungary. Before 2 weeks with so hard preparation. And this is very important for CE, also the another team.
Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you. Angie, congratulations. Of course, you see it differently maybe a bit, but I think New Zealand did a very good game, at least at the first 2 quarters. How did you see from outside?
I think we play, so we're not an easy opponent. I think for the opposition that they have to play defense and they have to think about what we're doing. So I think we don't just roll over and let these top nations dominate us. So I'm super proud of the girls. They're pretty tough. And we've got high expectations in our group around how we approach the game and how we finish a game. So you will never see the Kiwis give up. So we're definitely here to be competitive.
Yes, I agree. But leave this tournament, the fans, they saw the game. But what we don't see maybe so many times, that you are working with this team very hardly and it's getting up and higher and higher. Can you tell about your plans in the near future or in the long future? How is the water polo life in New Zealand?
Look, I think it'd be quite surprising to everyone to know that the girls paid $3,500 New Zealand dollars to be here. So the athletes are still paying a lot of money to represent their country. So we have to try and challenge the top teams in the world and still fund ourselves. And just, it's amazing that we're getting a little bit closer each tournament. So I think for us to keep moving, keep training. We've got lots of girls overseas. We've got more and more playing professionally in Europe, lots in the college system here. So I think gaining international exposure as individuals and then hopefully doing enough to be able to secure that next level of funding, because I think that'll be a real game changer for us.
Tomorrow is against Israel. How important is that for you?
Look, I think for us, it's going to be a competitive game. I think there's hats off to the Israeli team and the coach. I think they've been on a really similar journey to us, maybe a little bit easier conditions, we can say. But I think for me, the result is always a result. I care about the performance. So if the girls come out here and we play and we compete, then the result will be whatever it is at the end of the game.
Thank you very much, Angie. Good luck for tomorrow.
Dana McKelly. And Team Italy's coached by number 4, Libby Galt. Number 5, sit on top. It's Aveno. And drills it from the outside. Aveno puts the ball on top. Bianconi. And it's Bianconi with the ball. Chip pass goes in. So does the shot. Kenton crosses it over. Down to the wing. And the shot. Pass goes in, and the backhand blocked out by. And outside, it goes in, into the post, and she converts. Our back at full strength. And puts it in. One more pass. And number 12 walks it in. Light it up and down. Out, crosses it over to Doyle. Doyle goes and sends it over, now down the line. Aveno. Into the net, into the post, into the net. Doyle takes the first pass, winds up, skips it in for the goal. And puts it away, top shelf. Shot hits the bar. Nelson shot, field blocked along the way, hits the bar. Let the launch. Coin puts it in the set. Down to the wing, ball goes to the set. And number 4, Sylvia, works to the cage. Looking for the near side edge. Down to the far wing, in the shot. Back at full strength. And looking away, ring drops. And Italy gets. Doyle makes an entry pass in the set. It's Nicholson. Marletta crosses the ball. And Bettini.